Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to another video. Today, we're going to be looking at some of the most dangerous player collisions in NBA history. So let's get right into it. At number 1, Derrick Jones Jr. collides with Goga Bitadze. Alright, so the first collision that I want to go over happened in the bubble with the Pacers, Goga Bitadze, and Heat forward high flyer Derrick Jones Jr. Tensions going on August 14th, 2020 with the infamous Jimmy Butler and TJ Warren dispute going on, and this didn't help stop the beef between the two teams. In the third quarter of the last regular season game before the play-in, Goga Bitadze was setting a screen, and it didn't seem like much at the moment, but Bitadze moved a bit when setting the screen, and Derrick Jones flew into him. It wasn't dirty, but Bitadze got called for the moving screen. Then you see Derrick Jones Jr. on the floor in major pain. He was on the ground for a few minutes holding his neck, and the medical staff had to stretcher him off the court, which left us fans terrified of what happened to him. He luckily only suffered a neck strain and was able to play in the playoffs just a few days later, but damn, if he landed differently, that could have been an even worse injury, but it was great to see him back in action, and he avoided a major injury. At number 2, Kelly Olynyk and Kevin Love. The next one was a dirty play through and through by Kelly Olynyk. In the first round of the 2015 playoffs, the Cavs faced off against the Celtics, and the series was pretty much over as the Cavs had a commanding 3-0 lead in the series and were just looking to put it away before moving on to the next round. In the first quarter, while leading 18-10, Kevin Love and Kelly Olynyk ran for a loose ball off a missed shot, and Olynyk proceeded to wrap his arm around Love's and just yanked it. Love proceeded to run off the floor as he knew something happened. And of course, something did happen, as Love was out the rest of the playoffs because he dislocated his shoulder. Even though the Cavs made it to the finals that year, it would have been nice to see a healthy Kevin Love helping out LeBron, and who knows what would have happened if he would have been healthy. Maybe the Cavs would have been two-time champs if it weren't for freaking Kelly Olynyk. At number 3, LeBron James bumps into Tristan Thompson. Now here's another collision involving the Cavaliers, and this time it was between two teammates. It involved LeBron and Tristan Thompson. This was also in a key game, as it was in Game 3 of the 2017 Finals when they were down 2-0. Midway through the first quarter, JaVale McGee got a board over Kevin Love, and this prompted Tristan Thompson to chase Klay to the corner so he couldn't get an easy three. LeBron decided at the same time as Tristan to go up and defend KD at the top of the key. While LeBron started to go up, he hit his head on what seemed to be Tristan's back. LeBron fell to the floor and was laid out for a good minute on the court. It didn't seem to be too bad though, as he was able to finish the game, even though they lost when KD hit a three right in his face to seal it. At number 4, Zaza Pachulia undercuts Kawhi Leonard. This next one didn't seem like a big collision, but it was, and it changed the way the refs officiate games now. In Game 1 of the 2017 Western Conference Finals, the heavily favored Warriors were actually losing by 21 points when Kawhi Leonard dribbled to the corner and took a long mid-range jumper. When he was landing, Zaza Pachulia shifted his foot under where Kawhi was landing, and Kawhi fell on it. This led to Kawhi being out for the rest of the series and was an issue for him the whole next season as he only played 9 games. The Warriors ended up coming back and taking the series in 4. This play did change foul calls for jumping in a shooter's landing space though, and as now, if a player jumps into a shooter's landing place, it is deemed reckless, and they could be assessed for a technical or flagrant foul depending on the severity of it. At number 5, Pat Bev digs Westbrook. This next one was also a very dirty play, and certified Patrick Beverley as one of the dirtiest players in the league. In Game 2 of the first round of the 2013 NBA playoffs, Russell Westbrook just crossed half court and was looking to call a timeout, which is very common in the NBA. When Westbrook slowed down to call a timeout, Pat Bev raced in and bumped hard into Westbrook's knee in quote-unquote pursuit of the ball. But I'm not so sure about that given the type of player that Patrick Beverley is. This ended up costing Westbrook heavily as he held his knee in pain and then tried to get up, only to limp around the whole time. This knee bump resulted in a torn ACL for Westbrook, and the Thunder were looking to make it to back-to-back finals for the second straight time, but this ruined everything. This also sparked the beef between Westbrook and Pat Bev, and no one would have ever thought that they'd be teammates now through everything that has happened. At number 6, Caruso gets thrown to the ground by Grayson Allen. This collision was from last year. Grayson Allen is known for his fair share of questionable plays, and this was just another example, and it was a part of a huge collision with Alex Caruso that resulted in injury. In a normal regular season game between the Bucks and Bulls, Caruso went up for a dunk in the third quarter, and Grayson Allen proceeded to jump with him and grab his wrist and throw him to the ground, and that followed through with his right hand to make sure that he got him. It was extremely dirty, and Caruso went flying to the floor and fell on his wrist. The foul was called a flagrant, but Bulls fans still weren't very happy, and Alex Caruso fractured his wrist and was out for over a month. At number 7, Dillon Brooks cuts Gary Payton. Here's another collision that happened during a dunk, and it was actually quite recent as it happened during the 2022 NBA playoffs. This one was in the Western Conference Finals between the Grizzlies and the Warriors. This is another collision where a dunker was going up and pushed, which are the worst kinds of collisions in my eyes. In Game 2 of the series, the first quarter down 8-0, the Warriors were on a fast break, and Gary Payton II had an easy layup. But then Dillon Brooks came out of nowhere and pushed Payton to the ground. Brooks wasn't even going for the ball, he was just being reckless. Payton did end up fracturing his elbow from the fall, but he was able to come back in a short time, and he came back in Game 2 of the NBA Finals to help the Warriors to their title. At number 8, Josh Hart, Terrence Ferguson collision. This next one is a little lesser known, but this collision was very scary. In a game on January 3rd, 2019, the Lakers were playing the Thunder. In the fourth quarter, down 91-88, Josh Hart was streaking down the floor for a layup. Terrence Ferguson ran down the other side of the court and tried to meet him at the rim. Ferguson jumped, and to try to contest him at the rim, he ended up getting so high his legs were at Hart's head, and he ended up falling over the top of him. Luckily, Ferguson was only shaken up after it, as he was on the floor for a couple of seconds to regroup before getting back up and continuing to play. He could have easily gotten hurt, which makes this one of the most dangerous collisions of all time. And at number 9, the Vince Carter undercut. This next one was in the media for a long time, as Vince Carter undercut Patrick McCaw. During a game between the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors, McCaw was cutting towards the basket while Carter was coming over to play defense on him. Carter was going to make a play, but decided at the end to get out of the way as he had no chance to get the block. But when he got out of the way, he accidentally undercut McCaw, who fell on his back. This was very unfortunate, as McCaw seemed to be injured badly as he was rolling on the court in pain. McCaw suffered a lumbar spinal contusion, and luckily this didn't leave him sidelined too long. A lot of people also thought that Carter may have done it intentionally, but that just wasn't the case, as Carter felt bad right away and tried to help McCaw after the fall. KD also said on the situation, quote unquote, "I know Vince's spirit and heart, and I don't believe it was intentional at all. So thankfully, this act probably wasn't on purpose." Well guys, that's going to do it for today's video, so thank you all so much for tuning in. Which collision do you guys think was the scariest? I know there's been a lot of scary ones, but we had to pick 9 here to keep it short. Is there anything that we left off? Let us know all your opinions in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon for more content just like this. We'll see you all in the next one.